Hey, I'm back in the shop, and last time that I did a video, or in the series of videos, when I was setting up this workbench, so this is the Windsor Design one by Harbor Freight. So when I was setting up this workbench, I had somebody ask me what these holes are. So as you'll notice, there's a series of holes that are here on the primary table itself, and then you'll see a couple ones here, as well as a couple ones that are actually here on the clamp. And those holes are for the different pegs that you can use. And I, I double checked, hopefully I'm not using the terminology wrong, but they can also be referred to as bench dogs. So I believe that's the proper terminology. So you'll notice that it actually came with a couple of these. So all the ones that are currently on the bench, so those as well as these ones, are all ones that were included with it. But you can also get bench dogs or these different pegs from other suppliers as well. So right now it came with 4 of these metal ones. These are actually like have a nice heft to it. And then also 4 of these taller ones right here. So I don't know a ton about the usage for like when you use one versus when you use another, but I will try and look that up a little bit and get a bit more information. And this is also the type of thing where, so these ones seem wonderful, these heavy metal ones. These ones are a little bit light, so I'll need to get more context about that usage to make sure that I'm using them properly. But also, as I mentioned, you can get them from other suppliers as well, which is pretty great. So that's what they are. But why do they have them? Why are they here? So the main reason is just to provide some additional stability or to hold things in place. So what you can do is if you're working with a piece and you're going to be making movement against one side, then you can use that to kind of hold that piece in place. And it is worth noting there's a couple of different cases where you might be doing that, or a couple of different ways that you might be using them. So I'm going to grab 2 here. So one thing, for example, is, I might want to actually clamp something using these pegs. And so if that was the case, then I could do the 2 pegs or just 1 peg there, as well as 2 pegs there. And let me just grab a little bit of scrap wood. So here's a little bit of scrap wood, just brought this up to demonstrate. So essentially what you can do is you can put it in like that, and then you can tighten this up, get those aligned. So you can tighten that up, and then this becomes a great way of holding the longer pieces that you might want to work on. So this is just really bad scrap wood, but a perfect example of when you'd want to do that is if you're going to be planing something. So then you're actually going to be able to have it so that you can hold it in place. It is worth noting that there's a couple of different ways you might do that. You might do that so that you're getting some resistance here on the edges, but a lot of times you'll actually be doing it like that. So you're actually directly getting that resistance against whatever motion you're doing. So as long as you've got a amount of down motion on the item that you're working on, then that's going to be combined with whatever friction you have on the bench, as well as the pegs to kind of hold the piece in place. Another thing that I did want to mention with that is a lot of times when you're using these bench dogs or these pegs, you might be using the item that you're working with in combination with another flat surface. So for a little bit of context, you might have a flat surface that you're actually attaching this to, and then that might be held in place. So that gives it a little bit more control over the sizing and stuff like that. And I'll try and go into that a little bit more depth once I get more things set up. All right, hope that's helpful. Have a good one, everybody.